Here is my attempt at making cabbage rolls, macro-friendly. The first step is boiling your head of cabbage with the core removed. And as you can see, the leaves become loose, and as they become loose, just one by one, you'll transfer them over into a different plate. I'm boiling some rice. This is brown rice to make it more healthy. And then we also have all of our cabbage leaves over here. And I'm measuring out some onion now to mix up with some lean beef. I'm using 93% lean ground beef. And we are not using any oil. There's enough fat in the beef that when you cook it, you'll see natural fat will come out into the pan, and that's all you need. You don't need to add any oil. You also need to spice the meat. This is a Romanian dish, and my mom used to always put lots of paprika into the sarmale and a lot of other meals. And then I'm also going to add just some plain black pepper, and I'm also going to add some pink Himalayan salt. For all of the cabbage that was remaining at the end that you couldn't get into a leaf, you're going to chop it up into these little pieces, and then you're going to put them at the bottom of your pan, because you're going to, after you roll your sarmale, after you roll your cabbage rolls, you're going to put them back on top of this, and you leave all those cabbage pieces at the bottom so that your sarmale won't burn. I keep saying sarmale because that's how we used to say them in my house growing up, but you will know them as cabbage rolls. So I like to brown the beef. We're going to cook it for 5 minutes before flipping it. Then I'll flip it, cook it for 5 more minutes, let it brown, and then I'll crumble it up into little tiny pieces. We're measuring out our rice. 2.5 ounces is going to be 1 serving, which I'm going to space out amongst 4 cabbage rolls. So I will be measuring out again for each individual cabbage roll 0.63 ounces of brown rice. I'm going to be measuring out 1 ounce of lean ground beef and about 1 tablespoon of salsa per roll, but I'm actually using the scale because even when I use a tablespoon, I find that I will sometimes put way more and sometimes put way less, and I can't ever get it to measure the same on the scale when I use a tablespoon. So I use the scale to measure out, I think I did a little less than 1 ounce of salsa per cabbage roll. Measured out to be 0.95 ounces of salsa. So you're going to mix your 3 ingredients, your beef, your rice, your salsa, into these cabbage leaves. I'm using a salsa from Aldi's, nothing fancy, but I like the taste of it. Okay, so now's the hard part. Rolling the cabbage rolls. I never got the hang of this. I'm trying to practice. Why are you so hard to roll cabbage roll? Why? I don't know. Doesn't want to stay. But here we go. We're trying anyway. So this is what I came up with. I'm hoping it'll stay. I did have it over in this size cabbage leaf, but I couldn't get it to roll. So I put it in a bigger leaf, and I'm hoping it'll stay like this. And we have to put it over here in this pot. So I had to do the same thing with this one. It was too small. I moved it over into another one. Looks like this. So far so good, I guess. As you can tell from this video that's about to happen here, going on right now, It is super hard for me. I don't have the skills required to easily roll these cabbage rolls. It was very frustrating and time consuming. I couldn't get the meat to stay in the freaking cabbage roll. So I fiddled with it a really long time until I got it to stay. It was still kind of fragile. I was afraid it was going to come apart, but I went with it anyway. And they did manage to stay together, thankfully, and now I have some delicious cabbage rolls. When you're done rolling your cabbage rolls, you put them back in your pot. You let them boil for about an hour with the lid on, and this is what comes out. They look like this. Now you have to remove them from the pot one by one very carefully so they don't come apart. And they're ready to eat. I like to eat 3 cabbage rolls at a time. I think those fit my macros best. They look like this. And I like to top it off with a little bit of ketchup. Measure your ketchup because ketchup can have a lot of sugar. I also recommend using either the reduced fat ketchup or the organic ketchup because that doesn't have any high fructose corn syrup and it tends to have less sugar as well. So in Romania, they put sour cream on everything. We're in America, so we put ketchup. Don't forget to log your meals in MyFitnessPal or whatever app you have to keep track. And thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to flex, dance a little, and have some fun. Thanks so much. Bye.